Mike, I'll just ask you right off the bat, how does it feel to be retired? I mean, is that a weird feeling?
Oh, very weird. I guess the word retired, yeah, it's kind of weird. I was out here in San Diego for the first time in training camp and September, October, November, and then December got the call to go back. We got back to Buffalo December 1st, so I was kind of living that retired life already, but you know was fortunate enough to able to go back for a few months and finish it off the right way. So it feels good.
Was there a point during the season? Was it last season? Was there a point where you kind of knew like this was going to be it for you, or when did you know?
Well, honestly, after last season, I thought I was done. I got neck surgery in 22. I missed that whole season. Came back in 23, felt amazing. About halfway through, started getting stingers and stuff. So, I knew once the 23 season was over with, I was pretty much done playing. I didn't really announce it because I wasn't sure. I thought maybe, this year they got deep into the season, which they did. Give me a call. And if a big emergency happened where the whole safety room went down, they needed me. I felt like I could have went out there and played, but that didn't happen. So, didn't really need to jump the gun and get out there and play. And so I knew I was once this season was over with, it was my time to announce it and be done.
So when you look back on the whole career, anything kind of stand out to you? Any sort of like overarching thoughts about your football career?
Um, I guess the umbrella of all of it would be just the amount of support I received my entire career. Um, the relationships, the friendships, the people from all walks of life that I was able to meet and understand because of a football locker room. So I mean, put the actual game to the side, just the friendships and the amount of people that I've able to connect with over the years, and from it being Fostoria or Iowa City or Green Bay or Buffalo, just the homegrown, down to earth people that I've met that I have relationships for the rest of my life, and um, it's just something that I always cherish each and every day.
Yeah, you touched on Fostoria there. How much do you think that still plays a role in kind of the way you do things, the way you think about things, is growing up in
Oh,
that?
every day, every single day. I consider myself, still that kid running around in fall story. Like that's the way I carry myself each and every day. I think that mindset would be extremely hard for me to break because, that's the way I was raised. That was my foundation to always be humble, always, give back to my community and, treat others the way I would like to be treated. And that's kind of that small town mindset. And fortunate enough, I've played in small markets and lived in small towns my entire life, other than now finally being out in San Diego. So, that's the way I carry myself, and that's what I'm gonna teach these little rascals, how to go about life and just having high character. And I think that when you go about it that way, obviously there's a few things I like to change, when it came to negotiating a new contract and all that type of stuff. But I think that everyone can say, you know, the way I carried myself and my character throughout those years were most important to them, and that's what's most important to me.
You know, you know, is there anything that maybe you wish you would have accomplished, on the field that you didn't in your career? Any sort of accolades or anything?
There was always, for me about getting better. I always wanted to be better than I was the day before, the year before, the weeks before. That's kind of my mindset. So it wasn't until now where I can finally look back and realize what I accomplished on my career. I think that ultimately winning a Super Bowl would have been icing on the cake. But I wouldn't change my career for anybody's, for Tom Brady's, just because I loved each and every day I went to work with the people, with the organizations I was a part of. It was extremely successful, but I just love the people that I worked with every single day and stuff like that. So I wouldn't change it for the world, and I'm just extremely blessed.
So what's kind of the next phase in your life? Where do you kind of go? Is it just focus on family? And, is there any sort of thing that you want to do next? What's kind of next for Micah Hyde?
Well, when I thought I was done after last season, I kind of picked up a lot, with our nonprofit with Imagine for Youth, and so we're doing a lot of things. We have a lot of things coming up for the foundation. The annual softball game is being held again in Buffalo. That's going to be huge. The football camp in Fostoria. We're doing a charity golf event now, July 11th in Iowa City. So that'll be the first event going back to college. And then the Kicks for Kids events we do every year, the back to school drives, the teacher grants, all that, the scholarship program. Hopefully I can make it into town soon to speak to the kids. But so with the foundation, man, there's a lot going for us. And then MJ, our son, started t-ball last week, so I officially retired last week, and then right now I'm help coach t-ball, so I'm right back into it. One door closes, another one opens. And then we got some projects, with some properties that we're doing right now. So staying busy is not a problem for me. I know how to continue on and keep pushing. And I was able to kind of dip my toe in the retirement life over the last few months before going back to Buffalo. So I'm gonna be golfing. I'm gonna be trying to golf as much as my wife will let me. If my boss says I can go out there, I'm gonna try. But other than that, I'm gonna stay busy and be running around with these kids.
Absolutely. Anything else you wanted to say, share? Think people should know?
No, man. I'm forever thankful for, Northwest Ohio, man. Just the amount of support everywhere I was at, every stage of my career. I always had the support from people back home, and it means the world to me. People have been saying congrats and thank you for everything that I've done my entire career, but I cannot receive it all without delivering it back to the people that have supported me my entire life, and that's the people in Fall Story and Northwest Ohio. Competing against a lot of kids growing up in the surrounding schools and stuff like that that probably hated me, and and I you know what, and I hated them too. It was a competition, and we were all trying to win, and to see the tides kind of turn and them support me throughout my entire career it meant the world to me. So, I just appreciate everybody back home, and I'm gonna continue to do what I can to support the youth and the community of Fall Story to try to give back and always make that place as special as what I see it as, and a lot of people see it as.